All the mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and simply establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, simply establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and simply establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deed with body, speech, mind. Until that, I perform virtuous deed with the body, speech, mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deed with the body, speech, mind. Page 4. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the assemblies of Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas cultivated enlightened mind and progressed on Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth through bodhicitta, apply, master, accomplish the stage of the path. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise in the assemblies of the Bodhisattvas path. The previous Buddhas created mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path. I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharmas, and likewise the assemblies of Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas cultivated the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. May all mother sentient beings, boundless the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that's free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that's free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that's free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Page 11. Unequal refuge, ornament of the world, your fame pervades the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor, Vajradhara, without doubt. I vow at the feet of Father Jigde Sumgun. Continually I think of no one but you, compassionate one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I realize the unelaborated nature of the mind. And then page C, we have here page 20, no, not page 20, 22. I pray to the glorious Lama, master of these parties, crown jewel of the entire Drikung Kagyu, leader of the sentient beings, teacher of the ultimate path, Lord of compassion, region of the Buddha, peerless kindness, incomparable teacher Vajradhara. Heed my prayer, Gampopa. I pray to you. Look upon me with compassion, empower me with the blessings. the true attainments, bestow them now. Spontaneously establish the true benefits here, bestow the fruits. Thank you. Doso simje tamje lo joson rowa jinje la doso jalam don rowa jinje la doso lam droba sawa jinje la doso droba shoso chawa jinje la doso doba da yo rowa jinje la doso to ye jinje rowa jinje la doso tena ta lo ka jinje la doso don 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 bro jinje la do Not as we know that they were studying the jewel ornament preparation. One of the best book that we are studying, in which contains the complete path towards the enlightenment, right from the beginning to the end. Buddhahood, then Buddha's activities. All this is a mental journey towards the enlightenment. We have a mental journey towards the samsara, backwards, how we create samsara. And now here, see, we have a mental journey towards the enlightenment, how to dispel all the confusion, the cause of suffering. So this gives us a very clear picture. So the book is which describes step by step. And now in the sixth practice, in the practice the sixth perfection, we can see, this all are required. Because our mind is not just one simple thing; it's very complex. Mind is such a complex subject. So to comprehend that complexity of the mind, the Buddha taught all those teachings to how to relate to the mind more positively. So now in the sixth, especially during the sixth perfection, and that's all these study practices, you see. So when we study this, at the same time we try to apply into practice as much as we can. Look at our weakness and look at our advantages, and then rejoice first to acknowledge our weakness, what we have, and how we can get out of this through these meditation practices. So we should feel so happy. It's not just pick up one topic and give talk, like public talk. This is something whole stages, step by step. So in the six parameters, we come to the samadhi meditation yesterday. First in the perseverance subject, see, here we have, in the perseverance, in that classification, we have three different types of perseverance: the perseverance of armor, perseverance of application, and insatiable perseverance. Then in the perseverance of the application, actual meditation practice, what's designed here is page 216. Now, in that you see there are three different types of perseverance: diligent effort to avoid afflicting emotions, diligent effort to accomplish the virtue, and diligent effort to benefit sentient beings. And the first is mentioned here, see, the afflicting emotions of desire and so forth, and all the actions they influence are the root of all sufferings, you see. Attachment, pernicious attachment, desire, anger, hatred, those, a direct cause of suffering. Therefore, for a long time, purify them individually. So look at individually what is stronger in your mind, and purify. Make effort for them to not to rise. See, in the context of Bodhisattva says, if I find myself amidst a crowd of afflicting emotional conceptions, look at your mind, what kind of afflictive emotions we have. I'm in the midst of all these delusions, mental afflictive emotions. So now, look at that. These are the real cause of samsara, the cause of suffering. I desire to free from suffering. I desire to have peace and happiness. But while I'm staying with them, how I can expect to have all the peace and happiness? How I can expect to free from suffering? So acknowledge that. Then he says, no, I shall endure them in 1,000 ways, many different ways. I will make every effort to reduce them, to purify them, eventually to uproot them. It says, like a lion among foxes and so forth, as we did yesterday, The lion is like the king of the beast. So all the beasts of these afflictive emotions were within. So as a lion in kind of overpower this all beast, so likewise I will build a strength in the mind to overpower these afflicting emotions, which are the real cause of suffering for me. This is why I'm practicing Dharma. This gives me the opportunity. Just meditate on this. See, I will not be affected by these host of afflicting emotions, you see. When we could do this, if the afflictive emotions are not, if they are unable to affect us, then there's real peace in the mind, you see, joy in the mind, no matter where you are. This was called perseverance, joyous effort, you see. It's very important, you see. Otherwise we try to ignore them, put underneath, and just fly in the Mahamudra without touching them, So that's not so wise. As mentioned, what kind of cloth you wear. If these are preserved, these afflicting emotions are preserved within us, then wearing elegant robes doesn't do any, it doesn't bring the purpose. Our purpose is to eliminate them, purify them. Look at in your life, you see, what gives you the most difficult. In our mind, the mind is overpowered by these afflicting emotions, like say desire, anger, pride, jealousy. Are they bringing peace, or are they bringing the suffering? Look at this. When there's a sense of love and compassion, are they bringing suffering, or are they bringing happiness, peace? So that's what is here. So perseverance, application. We apply or we implement the practice. So he said here, what is an example of mindfulness? How you can give us example how to be strong and mindful of this practice. From the same text, Shantideva says, those who practice should be as attentive, as a frightened man carrying a jar full of mustard oil, who is being threatened by someone with a sword, that he will be skilled if they spilled just one drop. Actually, he's not spilled, he will be killed. See? Full of mindfulness, first reflecting in permanence of all phenomena. Then suffering of samsara. Look at that. When you look at those things, then gives you such a strong mental power. Dharma practice is the only solution. It's the only solution to free from suffering. If, like this, if it's spilled a drop of oil, he will be killed. Likewise, if I dropped my mindfulness, I'll be killed. My peace and happiness by these mental afflictions. That's how to practice. So for that, now in the where the study in the meditative concentration. So what's the false without the meditative equipoise, concentration? What's the virtue, benefit is there having the meditative equipoise? So here is described more detail about the distraction. What is distraction? What's the definition of distraction? What's the cause of distraction or agitation? And what is the meaning of solitude? What's the definition of solitude? How to achieve solitude? Physically, mentally. so skillfully lay out, step by step, you see. You see that he is saying, it's not enough going to the retreat. We have to have a proper mental state. When we're in the retreat, say, look at our mind, which is more gross from the mental afflicting emotions. Desire, attachment, anger, hatred. See? Because without slowing down those, it will be impossible to achieve equipoise, calmness mind. That's why, you see, the moral conduct is indispensable for the foundation of the equipoise, to achieve the meditative equipoise. How to settle the mind, rest the mind. So it says here, saying, if in case the desire, the attachment is stronger, especially like sexual desire, we attach to the people, to oneself. He's saying, he's suggesting, so look at your own body. We are so attached to ourselves, but it's just a nature of skeleton. That's the reality. We're not making bad. No. A collection of bones. No. The cement of flesh. Then we're moving, So how you can attach to this, to yourself, to others. So meditate that. This is ugliness you're saying. Ugliness does not mean two-state face. No. Your eyes are strange, it's not that. Just the very nature of our body is heap of bones, collections. Look at this, meditate. Relax your mind. Bring your mind from outside to here, within in. Meditate. Reduce this, our contrived mind, fabricated mind. Relax. Then yesterday we went also that, you see, if we have a stronger hatred, anger, so practice loving kindness, compassion. When you hate someone, that person is suffering. Because of that person's suffering gives you suffering. So it's a subject of develop love and compassion. It's not a subject to hate. To relax your mind there. Meditate. It's how to relax, you see. Now today we come here as page 225, number 3, ignorance. Which we have ignorance. No? And then ignorance, how to get rid of the ignorance. No? Ignorance here means misunderstanding, misperception. No? Twisted mind. As Carl, we should say, a fabricated mind, contrived mind. No, that's what it's called ignorance in this case here. Of course, ignorance applies to many things. when you cannot read, when you don't know understand, you don't know how to read, write, is also kind of ignorant. But here, no ignorance, is misunderstanding. So here said, those who have more ignorance should contemplate the law of interdependent origination as a remedy of misperception, misunderstanding. The rice seedling sutra says, now Buddha is now giving teaching to the monks. Say monks, all monks, saying, he who understands the rice stock can understand the meaning of interdependent origination. Those who know interdependent origination know the Dharma. Those who know the Dharma know the Buddha. This has such a profound meaning now. So now, he who knows the rice stock can understand the meaning of interdependent origination. It means you know how to grow the rice. You need the seed, need the ground, not just every ground, special ground, field, need water, heat, all this, whatever is required, the causes and conditions. And then you can get a rice. You ask this rice, the piece of rice, now, where is it coming from? From rice seed from itself? Or from the water? Or from the heat? Or from the ground? It's all interdependent. All the causes and conditions is needed. Neither from that, nor from this. It's a combination of many causes and conditions. That means it's illusory nature. Illusorily manifested. If you divide all the causes and conditions separately, there's nothing, one thing is there. Look at this, ourselves. Now this is just example. Everything, every manifestations are in that nature. But need all that causes conditions. If one condition is missing, the rice cannot grow. See? If there's no water, rice cannot grow. If there's no heat, rice cannot grow. If the ground is not fertilized, rice cannot grow. If there's no seed, rice cannot grow. So here's a suggesting that we, to achieve enlightenment, we need all these causes and conditions. We cannot ignore this is unnecessary. Or this I don't like. It's not being I like or don't like. It's understanding what's necessary. All the causes and conditions put together. So that's, it's interdependent origination, you see. That's what's called interdependent origination. So in the Buddhist school, Nagarjuna was so famous because of his presentation of interdependent origination that he became so famous. So Buddha taught this philosophy. And then all the great teachers carry out that message. And we start to practice this. That's why still in the modern the science and technologies can relate to this philosophy. Precisely. So look at this. So just meditate. You say, look at this. Bring that in your mind. So those who know interdependent origination know the Dharma, see. Those who have a wisdom. That's what is called Dharma. They know how we have to understand what is Dharma, how to practice. It's not just philosophy. It is combination of understanding and application. Those who know the Dharma know the Buddha. See, then you know. Buddha himself realized everything is just manifestation, including himself. Understood perfectly all this interdependent causes and condition. Nothing stands one independent entity. So who awake from the darkness, sleeping of the ignorance, and reveal all this complete nature, it's called Buddha, awakened one. That's the Dharma. That's the Buddha. From that, see, we have every opportunity to purify all the mental obscurations. Our mental obscurations, delusions, the root cause of suffering. Seeing something real, grasping, fixation, on the basis of ignorance, then manifestation of all other mental afflictions, that the suffering is there. No matter how much smart one may be, in many fields, still we're ignorant. So this is what called. That's what's called knowing the mode of abiding of all phenomena. How things abide, how they function. In the dimension of causality. That's what the Buddha's teaching is. His teachings about is all causality. So this is just few lines of quotation, and such a profound teachings is put here, presented. If we can see it, so we have to have our own mental capacity to acknowledge how profound this is. So now, to know of all this, now Gampopa is explaining. See, furthermore, the interdependence of samsara is explained in order. Means how samsara came about, with different causes and conditions. And the interdependence of nirvana is explained in reverse order, how we can reverse the order of the samsara and to achieve nirvana. So you see, samsara is constituted within the institution of the interdependent. As well, nirvana is also constituted within the institution of the interdependent. See? Therefore, the nature is emptiness. That's why samsara and nirvana is same nature. That's what it means. But, no, the interdependent causality, we create both in the different causes. Samsara, through the, in one way, you should say, a right cause of all the suffering, we put together skillfully. No? And then there we come, we suffer helplessly while we're complaining, So I dislike samsara. We're collecting all the causes, conditions, And nirvana, we have no idea how to achieve nirvana. Oh, I like nirvana, but we don't know how to create nirvana. So look to see how magnificent this teaching is, you see. Now the first, you see, first about the samsara. First has two topics: interdependence of the external, exterior, and interdependence of the interior. The interdependence of the interior has two topics. The first is not explained, but it's 4 elements, you see. You get all these 4 elements. All this outer world is constituted within the 4 elements. If there's no heat at all, nothing can grow. If there's no water at all, nothing can grow. So the earth, heat, the air, the water, all those combination, then the whole phenomena functions. The 4 seasons is changing due to the 4 elements. Look at this. So now it's mostly at the inner, interdependence. Now the inner has this two, interdependence with the cause, and interdependence supported by conditions. First, the first one, interior interdependence with the cause, as is said now here. Buddha's now teaching to the monks. All monks, because of this, that is produced. Because of this cause, that result is produced, manifested. So saying that which is produced has no independent power to manifest by itself without this cause. No? Because this is produced, that is born. Because we produce mental afflictions, suffering is born. This is the way how the condition of ignorance, see. This is the way the condition of ignorance, mental formation arise. Because in the mind, the ignorance is abide or maintained, then all these mental activities, and through that we create all different karmas we produce. See, by the condition of birth, there occur old age, death. See, when there's a birth, then there's a aging and death. See, if we're not born, we'll not age. If we're not age, we'll not die. That's logical, isn't it? Yes, very simple, So look at this, how simple it is. We can understand that. So when death comes, you see, old age and death comes, what happens here? Sorrow. Then we don't get what we want. We get what we don't want. We have to leave behind everything what we like. We're attached to, but no choice. Sorrow. Then from the sorrow, lamentation. Cry. We complain. And then suffering. See, unhappiness and distress. Therefore, in this way, the vast aggregate of suffering appears through this interdependence, from the ignorance, step by step. So then it cycles, complete cycle, go round and around and around, unending. Say now this is explained according to the desire realms. Now there's a 12 interdependent link. This is explained in the desire realm. In the form world and formless world, so we cannot explain this. And also, say, according to the birth from a mother's womb. So there are 4 births, from egg, heat, spontaneous birth. From those 3, we cannot explain the 12 interdependent link. Only those who are born in the mother's womb. Most we are in the world nowadays, or maybe everyone should say. Now it's the step of all the interdependence of the 12 link. Just look at this, how it cycles, how it's connected each other. See, at the very first is such called ignorance, which is the confusion that misunderstand all knowledge. Confused. Right at the beginning of this book is mentioned, the confusion, the samsara is the mental formation of confusion. Because the confusion, the characterize suffering. So, what's the cause of the confusion? It's said in the book, the great ignorance. So that's what here. Which is confusion that misunderstand all knowledge and misperception. Were misformed. And all these great manufacturers, they manufacture, then they market to the people, public, how good these are. And then we chase after this. It's outside, but inside here, our mind, the confused mind, which is based on ignorance. That's called ignorance first, We don't perceive everything as an impermanence, but we perceive as a real, concrete. We perceive samsara as something joyful place, not seeing samsara is a state of suffering. We perceive something as a substantial thing. We don't perceive everything as just manifestation, no self. So that's called ignorance. See, under the influence of the ignorance is created the mental formation of the karma. See, of afflicted virtues and non-virtues, and I think it's missing. That's called virtues, non-virtues, and maybe maybe it has the, also you have to check carefully, unshakable. You see, the virtue you have the meritorious karma, non-meritorious karma, and unshakable karma. So maybe it's here. It's maybe the missing. We have to check that. Anyway, defiled, wholesome deed. Undefiled, wholesome. No, not just unwholesome. Defiled, yes. Defiled is the defiled virtue, defiled non-virtue, and defiled unshakable karma. All these karmas we created now. Even though our adventitious obscurations are not uplifted, got rid of, but because of the Buddha nature, there is a sense of love and compassion. There is a sense of kindness. So because of the adventitious defilement is there, but because the power of Buddha nature, there is meritorious, wholesome thoughts, we create virtue. Through negative thoughts, we create negative karma. So all these different, various types of negative karma are created. That's called mental formation. This is a terminology. So look at this now. Now how they relate this here. The seed of karma is carried by the mind, so that is called consciousness, conditioned by mental formation. So that seed of the karma is carried by the consciousness, by the mind. The eyes conscious, the eye consciousness, the ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, mental consciousness. So, carried by that karma. Karma is carried by that. By the power of the karma, the mind is fully confused. Now the karma directed the mental state. Mind has no power now. Now karma is like the driver. The car has no power now. Wherever the driver drives, the car has to go there. South, west, north, with road, without road. If the driver is little drunk, then the car has a lot of problem, Mind is fully confused, enters into the mother womb. So then, mother wombs, you see, depends where you are going to born, in the 6 realms. So in this case, like in the human realm, mother's womb. And as soon as when the consciousness is conceived in the mother's womb, then it's called an embryo and so forth arise. Then, as beginning of this suffering of the birth, describes so detailed about this, you see, step by step, every day, every week, every month. In the mother's womb, the child grows. That's called the name and form conditioned by consciousness. Name, form, the body itself. The embryo is the form. Then in the name, the mental form is called from the five. It's called the five psychophysical aggregates. From that, say the form, the perception, and or feeling, perception, consciousness. Perception and mental formation and consciousness. These five. From the five, four are in the name. See? Form and name, or name and form. That's what's called. By the consciousness, see? Then that develops, as I mentioned, in the mother's womb. By developing the name and form, all the senses of eye, ear, and so forth, eyes, then the body growing every month, and the baby has then eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, the five senses. And the mind itself, source, develops the name, form, all the senses of the eye, ear, and so forth, completed. This is called the sixth increasing field. This name is called sixth increasing field, means the growing, These fields conditioned by name and form. See, all depend on that. See, if there's no name and form, the sixth increasing field will not happen. If there's no consciousness, there will be no name and form will happen. See how it is interdependent, interconnected. Now the interaction of the eye organ and so forth, the corresponding objects, and the consciousness is called contact, conditioned by the sixth increasing field. Now, there's eye consciousness, and there's object, contact. Now, the eye consciousness contact the form, object. The ear consciousness contact the sound. Then nose consciousness contact the smell, the odor. The body consciousness contact with the feeling that mental consciousness contacts the mental object. Good, not good, like, dislike, like those things. So that's called, the interaction of the eye organs, so forth, the corresponding objects and consciousness is called contact, conditioned by the sixth increasing field. If there's no eye consciousness, we will not see the form. If there's no ear consciousness, we will not hear the sound. So how is it interconnected? So now through contact, one experiences the feeling of joy, suffering, and indifferent or neutral. Maybe it's neutral is called. That's called the feeling conditioned by contact. See, if you don't see anything, there's no anything to say I like or don't like, joy or no suffering. When you don't hear any sound, there's no any reaction. I like this sound or not like sound. Because we see, because we hear, because we smell, because we touch. Now all this, then there comes the feeling, joy or suffering or neutral. See? How precious this is. Look at this carefully. Just bring in your mind, just meditate. When there's feeling, There's a joy attachment and stronger attachment. Is that right? Yes. When there is a feeling, there's a joy attachment and stronger attachment. That's called craving conditioned by feeling. When you like something, you want to repeat. No. It's called craving. Stronger attachment. Then look and see. What would you say? This is the religion or this is the reality? So that's what the Buddha means. When you know the rise stalk, you know the Dharma. This was called Dharma now. You see how interconnected. So what this means Dharma, yeah. We explain this step by step, but they not stand by itself, independently. They are interconnected, you see. Craving conditioned by feeling. From that attachment, one craves more and more and wishes to not to be separate from the objects of attachment. That's called grasping, conditioned by craving. What you like, then you just want to make every effort. You are in the battlefield, so working so hard, sacrifice yourself that I want to have this. And Lord in the world is to suffer so much from this. Now you can see, from this you can see how to develop compassion to all sentient beings. They have no power. They have no power for themselves because controlled by these causes conditions. Unless we have Dharma, meditation, no modern powerful equipment can help us to overcome the suffering. You see? Grasping conditioned by craving. Now see. The powerful medicine cannot help us. Through that grasping, then karma exists by body, speech, and mind are again created. No? That's called existence conditioned by grasping. As mentioned, we create so many different types of karma here. So that's called existence. How it makes to exist, basically. How we create the samsara. It's a universal reality nature. Now that karma creates the five aggregates. Now these karmas. Now there's all the different types of mental activities, involve our body, speech, and all this. Interaction creates the karma. That karma now creates this five psychophysic aggregates. Means a complete samsara is created now as a solid complete samsara is created now. It's kanda. That's called birth condition. It's a birth condition by existence. After birth, now 12. Aggregates which actually exist, increase, now growing, maturing, ripening, then at the same time growing and aging together. The day when we are born, from that day, growing, aging together. So increase, ripening, and cease. Cease means then it will die. So here now saying ripening, means aging. Cease means death. That's called aging and death conditioned by birth. See? Due to ignorance, now right from the beginning, the ignorance, complete attachment, craving. Then, having that causes the inner pain called now, due to the ignorance, it brings the attachment and craving. And then when death comes, death causes the inner pain, which is called sorrow. The inner mental pain is called sorrow. That sorrow causes expression in the word, you see, in words called the lamentation. We lament all, as I mentioned, saying expressing all the suffering, how much suffering one has. It's a lamentation. When the five consciousness experience unhappiness, is called suffering. When you see things like, dislike, sound, so from these five consciousnesses relate to the five objects, and then you don't get what you like. It's unhappiness. That's called suffering. Unhappiness is called suffering. Bringing that in the mind, that suffering is called mental unhappiness. Furthermore, in this way and so forth, entire afflicted or defiled subconsciousness is called the disturbed mind. So then again goes, now the ignorance is based on all those things. Then continues this 12 interdependent, unending. So until ignorance is uprooted, this all just continues. So that's how ignorance how to be lifted or reduced or uprooted. It makes sense? Look at this now, you see. This is a real called Buddhism, the Buddha's teaching. So step by step, how it gives us opportunity. No? So these 12 should be understood in the three groups, now put together into three groups. Ignorance, craving, and grasping comprise the afflicting emotions group. It's called afflicting emotions. Means ignorance, attachment, aversion. These three. No? So grasping is more like close to the aversion. Mental formation, that second mental formation. So first you say the ignorance is the first one. Craving is, I think, 8. And grasping is the 9th from the 12. They are called afflicting emotion group. Mental formation is second from the 12, and existence is the 10th from the 12. Are the karma group. They are karma group. Consciousness and so forth. Consciousness, name and form, 6 increasing field, and contact, feeling, birth, aging, those 7 are, all remain 7 are grouped as a suffering. Result. So now, this if you put this into 3 categories, it's very easy to understand. The mental affliction, from that we create karma, from the karma brings the result. So that circles, like that. Now look at this. It comes here also as well, it will explain, so we go there, no? The treatise on the essence of interdependence says, I think it's Nagarjuna, the 12 interdependent elements should be understood in 3 groups. The sage means the Buddha. The Buddha described interdependence as afflicting emotion 1, karma 2, and the suffering 3. The first and 8th and the 9th. The first ignorance, the 8th is craving, and the 9th grasping, comprise the afflicting emotions. The 2nd mental formation and the 10th existence comprise karma, and remaining 7 comprise the suffering. It's clear, isn't it? See? The example of these are, now if you ask what kind of example we can get to know further about the meaning of this dual interdependence, so that we can get some clear picture. See, the example of these are, ignorance is like one who planted the seed, the person who planted the seed. Like farmer. The farmer is like the ignorance. Karma is like the field where the seed is planted, the field. That's the karma. Consciousness is like the seed itself. Because the seed is the basic potential to grow. So when the consciousness carries the karma, so karma is the seed. Craving is like moisture to grow. When there's a moisture, water in the field, now it makes all kind of moisture. Name and form are like a shoot. When the farmer plants the seed and the fertilized ground, and then there's a moisture, when there's a heat all together, then they start growing the shoots. See that? See? The shoot. The others are like branches. Then comes the trunk, leaves, flowers, fruit, all step by step. So look at this, you see. From this you can understand, that's called interdependent, interconnected. Leaves and so forth. If there were no ignorance, then mental formation could not appear. If there's no ignorance, then there's no basis. All this manifestation, the creating the karma. Likewise, without birth, aging and death would not happen. We don't have to struggle with aging and death. Because of birth, then we're starting now. All those things, isn't it? you are growing. Then when you're 16, 18, 19, getting car, all those things. Then health insurance, car insurance, all to start from there, see. But because there's ignorance, mental formation are fully created, and so forth when there's a birth and aging and death occurs. This like say. So we cannot say fight with the aging and death. We have to practice how to relate with the aging and death. Instead of we making suffering, we use those opportunities to develop bodhicitta. Ignorance does not think I will create mental formation. Like ignorance itself, it doesn't think, so I will create mental formation and so forth. And mental formation does not think I was created by ignorance. Oh, I'm so suffering because the ignorance created me, They don't think that way. Likewise, birth does not think I will create aging and death. When birth occurs, now say, oh, I'm born now, I will age, I will create aging and death. And aging and death, also they do not think that we were created by birth. But when there is ignorance, there is a mental formation appear and manifest. Likewise, when there is birth, aging, and death appears and manifests. Thus, this is inner interdependent with cause. You see now, it's called inner interdependent. Cause each depend on the causes, their own cause, step by step. You see. So, look at this very carefully. Study. Each has its own cause.